Good morning everyone. So in this video, we are going to cover current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy, so you can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now let's start. Which is the most downloaded COVID-19 contact tracing application in the world as of now? So it is Arogya Setu application. Recently, this application was in news as it introduced Open API service. So this application is by MEITY, that is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and it has been developed through PPP, that is Public-Private Partnership, under the guidance of NIC, that is National Informatics Center, and this NIC is under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Now this Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology was also in news because of Swadeshi microprocessor challenge, and this challenge is a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Present minister is Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. Rules of origin that was seen in news recently is associated with which ministry? So it is related to MOF, that is Ministry of Finance. So recently DOR, that is Department of Revenue under Ministry of Finance, notified new rules related to rules of origin context. Notified new rules related to administration of rules of origin under trade agreement. Now what does this mean? Suppose two countries are having trade agreement, for example India and USA. Now as per trade agreement, both countries provide certain benefits to each other. Now suppose there is a third country, China, and so now exporters from China, they try to take the advantage of trade agreement between India and USA. How? They send their material to USA, then they relabel it. That means the item was actually from China, but it was relabeled, and now it has been sent to India as export from USA. So to prevent such instances, these rules of origin have been notified. Under this new provision, a country that has free trade agreement with India cannot dump goods from some third country by just putting a label on it. What does that mean? It means, for example, anyone from USA cannot export Chinese product to us by relabeling it. So this was simplest meaning. Now in this context, few terms are important. What is anti-dumping duty? What is countervailing duty? And which organization recommend these anti-dumping and countervailing duty, and which organization or which department apply these anti-dumping duty and countervailing duties? Who is the head of newly formed National Council for Transgender Persons? So this is important as recently government constituted this council for transgenders, and this council will be headed by Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment, and this is going to be a 30-member council, and in this council 5 states or union territories will be represented at a time, and it will be done in rotation basis. So 5 states and union territories will be represented this time, next time different 5 states and union territories will be represented. Apart from that, 5 people from the transgender community will also be in this council. A detailed video on this topic has already been uploaded on Civils Academy channel, so you can watch it from there. Which Indian state announced that it would be the first to implement the National Education Policy 2020? So it is going to be Karnataka. Now it is important to note that Madhya Pradesh is going to be the first state to provide jobs on the basis of CET, and Karnataka is the first one to implement National Education Policy. Now if we talk about this new policy, the target of public spending on education as per this new policy is 6% of GDP. Apart from that, recently MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development, has been renamed as MOE, that is Ministry of Education. In addition to that, this policy has a provision of Parak. So what is Parak? It is Performance Assessment Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development. So this will be an assessment body. Apart from that, this policy had the provision of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So it is going to replace the 10 plus 2 structure. Again, a detailed video on this topic is already uploaded, so you can watch it from there if you want to know more about it. External Affairs Ministry organized the National Coordination Committee with which country for the first time? So this country is Uzbekistan, and for the first time this India-Uzbekistan National Coordination Committee meeting was organized. Now it is important to note that from Indian side, V. Muralidharan, the Minister of State, that is MOS for Ministry of External Affairs, chaired this meeting. And who is our External Affairs Minister? He is Mr. S. Jaishankar. He is member of Rajya Sabha from Gujarat. Now coming back to Uzbekistan, recently Uzbekistan was also in news because of dust leak. So it is first ever joint military exercise between India and Uzbekistan which held in 2019. The capital of Uzbekistan is Tashkent, and it is important to note that Uzbekistan is the doubly landlocked country. Only 2 countries in the world are doubly landlocked. Answer in comment box which is the second country. Which development bank is to finance the $500 million Mumbai Urban Transport Project? So this will be financed by AIIB, that is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, and this will be for Mumbai Urban Transport. Now the headquarters of AIIB is in Beijing. Beijing is in China. Recently China was in news because of Tianwen 1. It was China's Mars mission. China was also in news because of Gaofen 9 series. So it was Earth observation satellite which was launched recently. Apart from that, China was also in news because of Bidou navigation system. Train the Trainer program that was seen in news recently is associated with which technology company? So it is associated to Microsoft, and as per this program, Microsoft is going to teach quantum computing skills to train the faculty, approximately 900 faculty across the country. So this is a program to train the trainer. Trainer means faculties. Now Microsoft was also in news because of its K-12 education transformation framework. Which Indian educational institution has signed a memorandum of understanding with Switzerland-based HELP Logistic? So it is IIM Kozhikode. It has signed this MOU with Switzerland to develop humanitarian logistic in India. Now, recently Switzerland was in news as Monica Mohta was appointed as India's next ambassador to Switzerland. Apart from her, recently Vidhu Nair was appointed as Indian ambassador to Turkmenistan. In addition to him, Vikram Doraiswamy was appointed as India's High Commissioner to Bangladesh, and Rudrendra Tandon was appointed as India's next ambassador to Afghanistan. Which institution, in association with Shiv Nadar University, has developed a new technology to produce lithium sulfur batteries? So this organization is IIT Bombay, and for this lithium sulfur batteries, these 2 organizations, that means IIT Bombay and Shiv Nadar University, has collaborated. Now this lithium sulfur batteries, that is LIS, would be 3 times more energy efficient and cost effective. So it is more efficient and it is cheaper than the conventional lithium ion batteries. So this one is lithium sulfur. Which company has recently conferred the Global Water Award? So it is Watek Wabag. It has recently conferred the Global Water Award, and the award was given to the company for setting up a treatment plant, that means water treatment plant in Chennai. Now, because of this project, Chennai is the first Indian city to reuse more than 20% of the treated water. Now, if we talk about water, recently Uttar Pradesh government collaborated with Israel to resolve the water crisis in Bundelkhand region of Uttar Pradesh. Apart from that, every year World Water Day is celebrated on 22nd of March. In addition to that, recently BIS, that is Bureau of Indian Standards, released a draft standard for drinking water. Apart from that, recently CWC, that is Central Water Commission, collaborated with Google for the flood forecasting. Pakistan has acquired an advanced warship named 054AP from which country? So this country is China. Now Pakistan was also in news because of Azad Pattan Hydel Power Project. So this is in POK, that is Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So it is illegally, that means this territory is illegally occupied by Pakistan, and India has raised its objections against this project. And for this Azad Pattan Hydel project, China and Pakistan are collaborating. Apart from that, both these countries are working together on Diamir Bhasha Dam. So this dam is also in POK and it is our territory. So obviously we have raised our objections. Which football club has won the UEFA Champions League 2020? So this is Bayern Munich, and it has won the UEFA Champions League. It is a Germany-based football club. Recently, Germany was in news as it declared Hezbollah as terrorist organization. So this Hezbollah is organization associated with Lebanon. Recently, Lebanon was in news because of the massive explosion in Beirut. Beirut is the capital city of Lebanon. And this explosion was because of ammonium nitrate. What is the formula for ammonium nitrate? It is NH4NO3. As per the newly activated Aadhaar-based GST registration, what is the time taken for GST registration by an entity? So, if you are registering for GST through Aadhaar, then it is going to take 3 days. And if you are doing registration without Aadhaar, then it is going to take 21 days. What is GST? It is goods and service tax. It is indirect tax. So, in the context of GST, please read about following terms. What is GSTN? What is GST compensation cess? What is the difference between cess and surcharge? What is GST Council? So these were the most important questions of this quiz. Now we are going to cover important news. Feel free to skip it if you do not like the format, but make sure that you cover these events from some other shows. Okay, so first news is baggage sanitization and wrapping machine. So this machine was in news because of Ahmedabad railway station. So this machine was installed at Ahmedabad railway station, and this is to ensure the safe travel for passengers during this COVID-19 pandemic situation. And it is a first of its kind machine which will help in the sanitization and safety. Next is Neelkant Bhanuprakash. So recently he was in news because he won the first ever gold medal for India in the mental calculations World Cup. So since this is the first ever medal in mental calculation for India, therefore it is important from exam perspective. Next is G. Satish Reddy. So the chief of DRDO, Dr. G. Satish Reddy, was given extension of 2 years. Next is My IAF. So it was launched by Indian Air Force, and this is a mobile application to provide information related to career. Next is AUD FS01. So this is the name of galaxy, and why this galaxy was in news recently? Because AstroSat detected extreme UV light from this galaxy. Now what is AstroSat? It is a satellite by India, and therefore it is important. Next is Axis Bank Max Life Insurance. So Axis Bank is to acquire 17% stakes in Max Life Insurance. Next is World Gujarati Day. So it was on 24th of August, and it is celebrated to promote Gujarati language and literature. Next is Atal Bimit Vyakti Kalyan Yojana. So recently ESIC changed some norms under this Atal Bimit Vyakti Kalyan Yojana. And these norms are quite complicated, so I will try to upload a different video on this topic. And this ESIC is under Labour Ministry. Next is Sagun Gift and Insurance. So this is an initiative by SBI, and this is a gift of personal accident policy. So it provides financial protection to the person in case of any unpleasant incident such as accidental death or partial or total disabilities because of accident. So this provides protection. That means financial protection in such cases. And this is an initiative by SBI. Next is Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award. So Anita Kundu was selected for this Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award, and she has been selected for this award in the Land Adventure category. Next is MI. So it is the name of a short film, and recently this short film was in news because it won the first prize in the online short film contest. And this contest was organized by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Next is Faro Heart. So this is an app launched by Tata Steel, and this is an app for sourcing scrap material from traders. So this will help in organizing India's scrap market. Next is ICICI Bank. So recently ICICI Bank was in news as it became the first bank in our country to use satellite data to assess the credit worthiness of farmers. So how you can assess the credit worthiness of a farmer with the help of satellite data? This can be done by analyzing a pattern of crop and the production and various other associated aspects. So if your credit worthiness is good as a farmer, therefore it will be easy for you to get a loan from the bank. Next is no GM certificate mandatory. So recently FSSAI, that is Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, has issued guidelines that from 1st of January 2021, importers of food crops need to declare that these products which are imported from other countries are not genetically modified. That means you need to have no GM certificate for these imported food crops. So what is the intention behind it? Intention is to ensure that only non-GM, that is non-genetically modified food crops are imported in our country. FSSAI is under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Now in the context of GM, there is a committee, that is Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. Please read about this committee, under which act this committee has been constituted, and who is the chairperson and co-chairperson of this committee. It is one of the favorite areas of UPSC. Next is Super App. So this app has been launched by Tata Group, and this app will provide digital services. So this is an omni-channel app. What does that mean? It means it will provide all the services, that means digital services, at one platform. So all the services of Tata Group can be accessed on single platform. Now the problem is that we have different app for different things. So our mobile has become app collection box. So now there is a new concept of super apps. That means it will have multiple apps within that single app, and it can do multiple function. Next is Ramesh Chandra Task Force. So recently this task force was in news as it recommended that the sugar cane prices should be linked to sugar rate. So what was the recommendation? That link the sugarcane price with sugar rate. Now in the context of sugar, there is FRP, and recently government increased the FRP for sugar canes. Next is Bonda tribe. So they are PVTZ, that is particularly vulnerable tribal group, and they are tribes of Odisha. There are 75 particularly vulnerable tribal groups, and these are in 18 states and 1 union territory. I think this question was asked in UPSC CSC in 2019 or 2018. Next is data localization. So recently Delhi High Court has sought response from the central government and from the RBI for a petition against Google Pay. What is the petition against Google Pay? That it has violated the data localization norms of RBI. What is the meaning of data localization? It means the critical data of user should be stored within the boundaries of country. That means the data of Indian consumers should be stored within India. It should not be stored in server outside India. Next is Pascal Lissouba. So he was the former president of Republic of Congo, and he passed away recently. Next is MCX launched BullDex. So what is BullDex? It is Bullion ICOM Dex. So what is MCX? It is Multi-Commodity Exchange of India. So India's first listed national level electronic exchange launched this BullDex. It is India's first tradable real-time bullion index. Next is Who Painted My Lestrade. So this is a book by Sri Iyer. Now this book is not that much important, but what is important is that this book is a part of a trilogy, and the first book was Who Painted My Money White, and last news is Running Toward Mystery, The Adventure of an Unconventional Life. So this is a book by Tenzin Priyadarshi and Jara Hosmand. So these were the most important questions and news events of today's video. Thank you, and that's all for the day.